Welcome back, everybody. I'm Scott Stevens, along with Richard Heaney and Barb Slusser, as we discuss UFOs. With us on the phone is another guest, this one Michael Horn. And again, one of the common things is UFOs, and they've been going on for so long through history. There seems to be, I don't want to say a resurgence, but over the last 2 or 3 generations of human lives, we've certainly had a lot of activity surrounding this planet. We kind of want to understand why that has been happening. So before we get to Michael, we want to go off to the website and take a look at the trailer for his documentary, The Silent Revolution of Truth.
Let's take a look at it.
This Swiss farmer has taken over 1,000 clear daylight UFO photos, some even from onboard these extraterrestrial spacecraft. He's filmed the UFOs, recorded their sounds, and presented samples of their letters for scientific examination. Is this why he's been the target of 21 documented assassination attempts? Or is it because of his other life in the Middle East as the Phantom, a hunter of serial killers, who rubbed shoulders with world leaders like Gandhi, the King of Jordan, Franco, Tito, and Saddam Hussein? Or because he accurately predicted hundreds of dramatic events, from 9/11 to the Iraq wars, from global warming to AIDS, decades before they occurred? Or could it be because he discovered and published an ancient document so heretical that it threatens to overturn the core beliefs of all of the world's major religions? Is this the biggest hoax, or the most important story in all of human history? See for yourself. The Silent Revolution of Truth.
Okay, great.
I'm all for a revolution of truth.
I think everybody's for that one. But
well, Michael, how much time did you spend actually producing this documentary?
Well, we put it together a little bit over a year, maybe close to 14 months.
Okay, and what got you interested in Mr. Meyer?
Actually, my interest started in 1979 when I walked into a bookstore in Los Angeles and saw the first full-color photo book, a coffee table-sized book of the clearest daytime UFO photos imaginable, and still to this day, the best physical evidence. As I say, 1979, I walked into a bookstore in Los Angeles. I saw a coffee table-sized book with the clearest photos of UFOs ever, and that remains that way to this day. And that actually just launched what's almost been 30 years of research and investigation into the facts of the case.
Wow. So you've been in contact with this man for like 30 years then?
No, actually my own direct contact with him started in the year 2000 when I went to Switzerland for the first time myself to meet the man and to, meet the people involved in this case.
What were your impressions of that visit?
I found him to be disarmingly direct, and I use the word neutral. Wasn't trying to impress me or anybody else that I've observed in the last 8 years. He was receptive. He answered questions without hesitation, and I even tried over a period of 3 years, 4 visits in 3 years, to try to trick him up by asking him a question that he'd answered for me before to see if he would change, changed his answers. And remarkably, the man is consistent. And we're talking about somebody that has visitors all the time from all over the world traipsing through his life. So my own experience sitting and talking with him even for hours is he's just a very genuine, normal man. And they don't talk much about UFOs over there unless you ask them. They're far more involved with the information that's come from the case.
Michael, if I can quickly ask you a question. Okay, you say you find him pretty much credible, genuine, possibly credible. If that's true, that he is credible, why would it be that he, out of all of these other people, how is it that he gets so many, and we're talking thousands, thousands of pictures?
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Why?
Well, I think in a way, Barb, in a sense, your question answers itself because he, as you are admitting in your question, is the man who has taken all of these photographs. And what you need to know is that the debate on the photos, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the skeptics presentation in the special features, but we invited and allowed a skeptic who's with an organization that for 7 years has been trying to debunk Meyer's photos to make his best presentation on it. And subsequent to the film coming out, he published, and we have it on my front page of my website, he published a virtual retraction saying actually his presentation on the photographic evidence in the case was the weakest link in his whole argument. And that's because he tried to base it on a statement impossible to do this unless you had a crane. And I mean, so the poor fellow went to try to get them to recant their own virtual endorsement of Meyer's photos, and the Academy Award-winning special effects company for Independence Day is basically saying it's just about impossible to fake this stuff with models. So credibility, no one's been able to crack it.
All right, maybe nobody's been able to crack it, but why is it that he is getting those type of close-up photos? I realize that they can't crack it, but why isn't anybody else there at the time?
Let's cover that after the break.
Yeah, I'm curious about what about the law of attraction has let this person become that focal point. So we'll be back after the break and continue our discussion with Michael Horn.